The day which we fear is our last is but the birthday of eternity. Um, that was said by the Roman poet and playwright Seneca. I, I think I think it's a pretty interesting quote for what we all are going through right now. If you don't know, which this is for all Fort Hazers out there, but for those of you who aren't, we as the Fort Hays class lost a friend the other day. Um, I personally didn't know A.J. Davis that well. Um, I remember having several conversations with him in Spanish too, but that's about the limit of my familiarity with him. And he is now gone. It's weird. For lack of a better term, it is weird. He was a very young man, obviously. And his loss at such a young age is weird. it's it's making me, for instance, have to come to terms with my own mortality, my own possible mortality, as well as everyone around me, and it's been hard. Especially, like, part of it is not knowing him very well, because I feel like I feel like there'd be some kind of more solid, like, closure, if that makes any sense, if I knew him better. That, not knowing him very well, I wish I got to know him better. And now that he's gone, I know I never will. But at the same time, I kind of... I see this as him... Let's go look back at that quote. The day we fear as our last is but the birthday to eternity. We live in an age where we can know almost anything. Science has advanced enough that we know many of the great mysteries of the universe. Our technology is advanced enough that we can find it out at the click of a button. Just at a web search. We can find this stuff out on our phones. There is pretty much no knowledge that is not available to us. There's one important little thing that we don't know. What happens when we die? We, while living, will never know that. And there is no way for us to know that and be able to share that. It's kind of mind-boggling if you really think about it, because of all of the things in the universe that we don't know, the one that we will never know is the one thing that every single one of us will experience. AJ, at this point, I feel probably knows what happens. It might be nothing, it might be heaven, it might be some form of reincarnation. We don't know. But how amazing is that? AJ is now beginning life's last great adventure. He is experiencing now something that many of us will not experience for a great deal of time. And he is now learning the great mystery of the universe, the one that, as said, we will never know. I don't think we should look at this moment as just something that happened. We must mourn AJ, but we can't just throw him aside like, oh, he's dead, how sad is that? We must celebrate this. He is, wherever he is discovering something that even the greatest scientists will never truly figure out. And that is truly incredible. I wish I could know everything. I really do, but I can't. And not knowing what's happening to him is hard. None of us do, and that's why I believe death is so hard in our culture. But at the same time, there's something just incredible about it. I say we should celebrate this. We must look back on his life and rejoice. We must celebrate him. We must... It is sad that we will never meet him again, yes. But we must rejoice that he's discovering something that we do not know. The day we fear as our last is but the birthday to eternity.